Do you guys want to know how bad my perfectionism is? I'm upset that I forgot a plant. My plant is not here, and so there's no aesthetics in this video. I'm sorry. I'm the aesthetic. Okay. Anyway, yes, that is not something that I need to be concerned about, but I am, because that is just me. There has literally been a time where I forgot to bring a plant before filming a tutorial that I walked to the nearest nursery to buy a plant. Okay? I'm not going to buy another plant, okay? We're just going to have to deal. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. My name is Keira, founder of Modern Pianista. On this channel, we discuss all things regarding artistry, entrepreneurship, and music education. So the other day, I was teaching a couple students their very first piano lesson ever. This doesn't happen for me very often because I've been teaching piano for 12 years and slots on my schedule don't open up pretty often. Just saying, I'm pretty good at what I do and I have some pretty good student retention. So, usually I'll have a student for like 5 to 8 years. That's usually the typical time. And so when I do teach students for the very first time, I get reminded of the things that I'm telling them. And I'm like, oh, okay, this needs to be more common knowledge. So I was like, okay, now that you're actively putting out videos on YouTube, let's make a video. A lot of people sign up for piano lessons with very interesting understanding of approaching an instrument. I've had people sign up for music lessons for every reason under the sun, from, wanting to boost confidence and stress relief, to delaying the onset of dementia, to helping their child with a muscular disability when they couldn't bend their fingers at the knuckles. I've seen it all over the past 12 years. And what baffles me the most is that a lot of people don't sign up for piano lessons with the understanding that the main reason why you should be calling me is because you love music. Please sign up for piano lessons because you love music. There are so many other benefits. Yes, it'll make you more disciplined. Yes, it'll help you with math. Yes, it'll do all these things for you. But as a musician, we don't want to teach you because of those reasons. We want to teach you because we want you to love music as much as we love music, as much as I love music. I gave my life to music because I love it. So if you are sitting in my lesson room for other reasons, then you are missing the point. I'm going out on a limb and I'm going to say it, okay? So please make that the main reason as to why you're here, because you love music. I had to take notes because I go off on tangents a lot and I'm very passionate. So, I didn't want to make this like a 30-minute video because I easily can. Let's see. More than one way to learn. There's more than one way to learn the piano. Now, we are rooted in so much tradition where we sit down and we expect things to go a certain way. A lot of teachers end up regurgitating exactly what was done to them. And while that method works, you are going to learn the fundamentals and the foundation. I don't teach that way, which is why my lessons are amazing. I don't teach that way because I don't agree with that. That is what was done to me. And when I began teaching, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Now, you will still get the fundamentals, you will still get the foundation, but it will be through your favorite songs and it will be through exciting concepts and methods and analogies. I will compare things to fashion. I will compare things to 5-layer nachos, colors. Music is creative. We are inherently creative beings, and to make it so dry, it breaks my heart, okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. Anyway, so there's more than one way to learn piano. There's more than one way to approach your instrument. And so I would ask that my clients, who are all on board with me, because if you are my client, you are on board with how I teach, I want you to be open. I want you to be open to the understanding that there's more than one way to approach your instrument. Now, if you are approaching piano from a traditional standpoint where you are only focusing on learning how to read music, I'm telling you that that's a tragedy. I'm telling you that because that's what I had. I was classically trained and I grew up only reading. And now I'm grateful for that experience. I'm not going to sit here and trash talk my privilege, Some people cannot even have a music lesson. They can't even afford an instrument, let alone a private teacher. So who am I to trash talk my privilege? But given that I know better, then I'm going to do better for my students. That is my duty, right? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't teach your students how to read or that you shouldn't expect your children or yourself to learn how to read. Who wants to be illiterate, right? But let me ask you a very important question. What is music for? I'll wait. I ask this to all of my students and they just look at me like confused. They're like, what? I'm like, music is for your ears. It's for listening. So if music is for your ears and it's for listening, then you should be prioritizing learning how to figure it out by listening. You should be learning how to prioritize ear training. Now, sight reading is so important and it's a wonderful skill to have. You can figure out some of the most beautiful pieces that you can't figure out by ear because they're too complex. But if you start with that, if you lead with that, you are literally cutting yourself off from the heart connection that you can build at an early age, at an early point in your music experience or career. So I prioritize ear training, understanding the language of music, which is built on scales and chords. Every song that you ever want to learn is going to be built on scales and chords. The song structure is chords. You can think of chords as like the skeleton of a song. And the top line, which is the melody, is based off of a scale, and that's what sits on top of the chords. So once you understand the 12 major scales and the 12 minor scales, and then all of the chords, you don't even have to know all 24. You can know just like 6 of each or something like that, and you would have a really good understanding. You can do quite a bit of damage with just that. I can teach you a gazillion songs off of just you knowing like 5 or 6 key signatures. So once you understand the concepts, you're like, oh, I get it. It's a language. It's a language of sounds, right? So that needs to be prioritized first. And you can implement sight reading along the way, but that should be an additional resource instead of the primary method. Learning music is also a journey. It's something that you will be doing for a lifetime. You're going to enjoy it at parties, at bars and clubs, graduations, weddings, funerals, movies, all of it. You're going to enjoy it for the rest of your life. So you should expect to be learning about it for the rest of your life, right? There's music from all over the world, different time periods, different countries, different cultures. And then you can fuse the two, different regions, cultures, time periods. There's endless things you can do. There's digital, there's analog, there's production now. There's just so much stuff that you can do with music that a lot of people are like, oh, I've been learning for 3 years, and so I should be here by now. And I always tell people, no, that's not a good way to measure if you're good at something or not. Because first of all, you can have 2 people that have been taking piano lessons for 3 years. And one person could be practicing every single day and could be exploring. It's not just practicing, it's exploring, right? Exploring and getting curious and understanding things on a deeper level, challenging themselves for 3 whole years. And then there's one person that barely does the bare minimum that their teacher tells them to do, right? Who's going to be better? Obviously the first person, yet they've both been learning for 3 years. So you can't use time as a measure of being good at something. it's relative. Once you learn that there's more than one way to approach your instrument and that it's a journey and that learning all the different methods are beneficial and they are going to intersect at the top of the mountain. You can take an approach of ear training and theory and then also learn sight reading, and you'll understand that, oh, they're actually intertwined and they actually help each other out. Once I learn more of this, then I get more of that, or when I focus on modern music, I want to do this. But when I focus on classical music, I want to do this, So having that understanding is very crucial. Something I'd like to share with parents is that when you are signing up your child for music lessons, I want you to understand that they don't have a relationship with music yet. When you hear a song, it instantly transports you back to a time in your life. Whether it's a good memory or a bad memory or a feeling or a place or an experience, children don't have that. And so as a teacher, I understand and I accept that that is my responsibility to build that, to actually create that memory. I am the memory, and that's a very powerful role to play. So I'm very passionate about how I introduce music to children because you have the power. You have the power to turn a child off from music for the rest of their lives. So music teachers, just know your power, okay? And when you use your power wisely and you go off of their desires and you go off of their excitement and you build their curiosity instead of shaming them or making everything based on academia or performance or tradition, then you can create some pretty amazing musicians, some amazing talent. And so parents, I want you to be open to that understanding that teachers, you need to find a teacher that wants to do that for your child. It's not just a one-size-fits-all type deal. I think I touched on the most important parts in this video, so I'll definitely be creating more. But if you are looking to sign up for piano lessons for the first time, or if you're looking to sign your child up, I want you to watch this video a couple times and really understand what I'm saying in this video, okay? All right, I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next one.